hello, and welcome. Don't worry, Words on Stream is still here. I'm Jason, and I'm joined by a rare guest on the channel, who's only here once a week for the last 6 years.
Yeah, barely at all. Barely at all.
We just met recently at a convention, and
I didn't realize either of us were conventional.
no, yeah, I'm a regular human man. That's Jason Humanman is what they call me.
Who are they? Just out of curiosity.
It's hard to say exactly, but
I see that.
Also, so is this puzzle. It's hard to say.
Yeah, I don't understand why Jarl wouldn't work. That's silly.
This is
this is really going to be how we go down.
Yeah.
And that's wild to me. Like, why?
Journal. I saw journal immediately. Jareth got there before me.
Right. Everyone.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not upset about it.
Right. No, of course not.
And then there are no more words.
Right. Where are they? This is strange to me as well. Like, I've gotten a non-zero number, and nonetheless, this is dire. We're in
what?
Dire heterosexuals.
Okay, look, I can't just quit after that. That's bad.
No, I'm with you. That's ridiculous. Why was this so hard?
Feels bad, should feel bad. The game should feel bad.
I feel bad. Why couldn't I see all those 4-letter words?
I don't know.
Like, maybe Jules counted, but if Jarl didn't, why wouldn't Jarl? I mean, okay, I've played Skyrim. It counts. Hi, everyone.
Yeah.
I realize I didn't ever say hi. I just got right into it with being very aggressive at this word on stream and also encouraging my puppy, who has successfully jumped onto the bed. Ooh, I like sires.
It's good to have lots of them. Not just one king, all kings.
Oops, all kings. I thought you meant like to sire some. Yep.
Oh, that.
Whoa, too. That is a weird relationship between those words. Oh, that feels very Jus Prima Noctis. Oh, I had never put that together. I hate
really?
it.
Oh, how funny. You're talking about the vampire usage, right? Siring a vampire? Oh.
No, that in turn comes from the procreative.
Well, yeah, that's why the vampires use it. And you were thinking of the procreative sense.
Right. Connecting that to kingship, and again, Jus Prima Noctis, I hate it. Ooh. Why is my brain just bad today? Like, why can I not see words? This is weird to me.
That's okay.
Where did the words
go? A bunch of it.
Okay, good.
We got there's a couple R words or S words. A seer.
Yep. Singular seer.
One more SE word. Probably SEI. Oh, C's. Yeah, that makes sense. 100%. Yep. We're jumping 5 levels. Wow. That's good. We're right back to where we were, because I think we flamed out at level 5 or something. So
we did.
Which was just a practice round, and that's fine.
We were warming up.
Now we're in the actual qualifiers.
Exactly. What are we qualifying for?
The Pun Olympics. God damn it. You distracted me.
I did no such thing.
Double. Blowed them down.
Let's see.
What are these 5-letter words?
Good question.
Okay. I mean, this is going so much better this round. There's no way we're gonna.
Why? No, this is. Hate you mean if I don't do it. I'm upset now.
Were you cussing at me in French?
No, I would never do such a thing. How dare you? Dutch.
What language was that?
It was Dutch.
Oh, okay.
Omdat Nederlands allemaal slecht is to the R. Weet ik veel te woord.
I like that.
Yeah, no, everything sounds bad in Dutch. Because you got all the...
you get some of that in with German, too. And I have to imagine those are somewhat linked languages.
Yes, although many German accents have softer variants on the that they employ. Like, they'll have like a soft for ich kind of thing. I have generally observed, though there are a wealth of Dutch accents, that when they go for it, they're like, is hard in the paint.
Yeah. With German, it just sounds more like everything is yelling.
That has to be a function of delivery.
I'm sure it is, but it just feels like, I like your haircut. Thank you. You look good too. Is just what it feels like to me. Casual conversation in German.
So, like, I had to do a lot of German romantic poetry during my opera degree because they set an absolute crap ton of that to music in the Romantic era.
Yep.
Like, your Brahms and whatnot. And
the J is fake, everyone. I know how bad we all want to put jeers in here, and it's just not to be done. I'm so sorry.
Hélas. But singing a lot about, like, flower blossoms did show me the softer side of German.
Sure. Yes, I totally acknowledge the objective delicacy within the German language.
Well, but I mean, as English speakers, we do usually hear just the yelly German.
Yeah.
I understand whence the impression for Anglo folks.
Yeah.
Like, that is a consistent conclusion with, like, broadly our exposure to the language.
Right. Let's see. What comes after rears?
Ryan, you already had that. Empty space, mostly.
How do you spell arrears when somebody's in arrears, like financially?
ARREARS, arrears.
Double R. Okay. Thank you. Oh, yeah. I started my sign. My
class. Spelling bee out of me. What the hell?
Yeah. Hey, look. I didn't even blink. This is North Shore Elementary School 2nd grade spelling bee champion right here.
I never won. I have the zeal of the loser.
That's all right. It's spelling bee is
it will never be all right.
A type of life is a way of life. And as we know, life figures it out.
Yes, exactly. As Benjamin Franklin once said.
Yes.
Spelling bees are so America, but like, not plenty of the winners aren't. Is the thing. What in the Samuel Hill is this word?
Letters? Yeah.
Yes. Okay, let's just start.
Rewolfalizer.
Yeah. Nailed it. No notes.
Wolfer. Oh, flower. Okay. Oh, I know what it is.
Flowery. Yep. Ah, there you are.
Got
Good.
them.
Now all I have to do is look at.
Yeah, you can ignore the Z.
I only have to look at that one word. Yep.
So bad because everyone's got is unhappy when using it. Your alarm is due to Achtung.
Nice. Oh, I like that very much.
Be right.
Oh, dang, Prince got me.
Be right. You often have good puns, but that one is so deep and thorough. Like on so many delicious layers.
Excuse me.
Like a German chocolate cake. Rich and gooey all the way through. We need a couple more words, friends. There we go.
Are we really not counting flowy?
I guess not.
Why aren't we counting flowy? It flows.
It does seem like a very well accepted term.
I would fucking think so.
Adverb? No, it's an adjective, right? That's not an adverb.
Yeah, the skirt is flowy. The subject complement adjective modifies the skirt.
He ran flowily.
Adverb.
Yeah.
Modifies the running. I really liked English class.
I did too. I liked it so much I majored in it in college.
I majored in being a loudmouth.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yes. Hey, we're not loud. We're classically trained.
Yes. I am both. Should have permitted Owlie.
I did just enough theater that I will claim this for myself. Oh, we went back to level 1. Oh, I thought we passed.
We did not.
Oh, okay. Well, friends, I don't think we could just start a whole new round here. We have to get to work. I'm so sorry. Sorry, Be Right. Yeah, we have to do our thing. Because we only have about an hour left, a little over an hour. So sorry about that. I got a late start today. Okay. So, the first thing I see every time I open this page is the double D must be used.
I wonder how that came to pass. I wonder if someone did that to themselves. Who could say? Truly. Who knows?
There's no way to know for sure.
Absolutely. No suspects at this time.
Nope. Yeah, from the beginning of stream, we're doing game design.
I infect all streams with this habit.
Yeah, and I love it. Okay, so we've been slowly making our way through the skills and figuring out which ones to chop, which ones to change, and I think we're making some. This is actually really helping structure where we want talents, where we want specialties, how we want those dice to add up and make sense to each other. So, yeah.
So previously on Deep Space Nine, we had been building into the flying mechanic. Determining some different aspects of flying and starting to at least sound out, albeit without any fixed conclusion, how these mechanics might interact with combat.
Yes.
And possibly agitated bat. We haven't discussed that yet.
Bats have butt cheeks. This is an important detail that I meant to send you earlier. I saw in Instagram somebody showed bats have tiny little batty butt cheeks, and it's fantastic.
For their bat cave.
Yes.
I'm an adult.
They're adorable. So
they are. I love them. I love them so much. Check out BatCon International. They
oh no, Prince! I'm sorry, you're sicker than a Victorian child. That's not good. Hopefully, you have better resources than a Victorian child.
Yeah, and less lead exposure.
Yes.
I was learning about it recently. That was terrifying. They just put that on as a glaze on dolls.
Yep.
That just goes right in your little mouth.
Yep.
I've seen babies, they put their mouths on everything.
Oh no, Steffi's in the hospital. Holy moly. Okay, we have an obligation to entertain some sick folks today.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
All right.
So flying becomes a skill if we're expecting it to be a big part of our game. And in a flying in a contentious way, I should say. Right.
Yes, flying in situations of doubt as to one's success.
Yes. Like even in Shadowrun, where driving is a whole thing, and maybe you're a smuggler and whatever, you don't roll drive to go to the grocery store, unless combat breaks out, which can happen. But
my Shadowrun game did, I think, roll drive to deal with 405 nonsense.
Yeah.
Which I think qualifies perfectly as a situation of doubt.
Well, that's a combat zone. That's
Indeed.
Obviously.
Well, I think interchanges are more that. Like the East LA interchange, the 101 and the 110. Combat zone. That one, there's one merge that just wishes death upon us all.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
Especially if you're trying to get to the next exit. It's not the point. It's just a thing.
Also, Shadowrun Los Angeles, I don't know if you had the California Free State splat book when you were playing. But there is an entire secondary freeway system that if you have a pass, you can drive above all the other traffic. It's a 2-tiered freeway system.
We did not have access to that, whether because our GM did not extend it to us, or because our characters did not have that particular.
Yeah, it's extremely expensive. But to me, it's a little bit silly. Like, Cyberpunk 2077 has it right. Like, if you have money, you have a hover car or whatever, right? Like, you no longer use the roads are for poor people. And
right, it's the question. Well, I think in both cases, it's just the question of how high do you set the price?
Right.
Basically, they're doing congestion pricing.
Yes.
Which is funny. It's just a really bad implementation of congestion pricing in 3 dimensions.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, back to flying. Wow. That's my fault. I got us onto Shadowrun. Which I never do.
You have to warn me when it's opposite day, bro. You have to warn me.
Imagine if I was able to just supercut, hey, AI, find all the times that I've said the word Shadowrun in these scripts.
Yep. Yeah. So that does highlight that we might expect some really fun situations. Hover car v Dargon.
Yeah.
I'm very into that. I mean, realistically, the reason flying should be a thing is that not a single goddamn person on this earth picked up a game about being friends with dragons to not fly on a fucking dragon.
Yes. Yeah.
And so that's going to be a thing that you do big, thrilling heroics about, because that is core to the fantasy of the game.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be flybys. It's going to be grabbing stuff and making off with it.
Yep.
It's going to be knocking drones out of the air and other flying machines. And yeah.
Oh my gosh, like the one with the hella fetch drive, and you have them Greyhound off after drones.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh, that's fun.
Hey, early on, we had an idea for, there's all these different types of dragons, and one of them was going to be a swarm dragon, which was, a dozen dragons in a trench coat. And you're sent aloft with the group of them. Mm-hmm. And then you would be able to have little ones that you could send off and come back.
Yeah.
And is that still of interest, or is that just kind of silly and not really that feasible?
I don't yet see a strong reason not to.
Okay.
Is the thing. Like, if that concept conflicts with the ability to engage in core mechanics of the game, particularly without some compensatory mode of interaction, and ideally without building out an entire I'm a special baby kind of system,
yeah,
then they get to stay. I can entirely, by narrative fiction, manage like all the flying stuff. Like they'll pick me up in a little blanket kind of thing. Like it is not interfering right now.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, and welcome in Gamer Blue A.
Hello.
This is what that looks like to me. I know it's Blue X, but like it just feels like it should be bleh.
I think the E is usually in front of the U, right?
Yeah, it is.
Are there exceptions?
No.
Oh.
It's just, the combination.
French doesn't have exception. There.
Well, as far as EUX, that is the order of letters. We're making a game currently called Dragon Game. It's a sort of modern cyberpunk-esque game where humans bond with dragons, and some of them have used dragon power to gather and hoard and keep their billions of dollars, if you can imagine humans doing such a thing. And then having some other folks, adventurers, take issue with the hoarding of wealth that certain humans have affected.
So, I mean, we could call it Dragons and Even More Dragons. They can't do anything about it.
Yes.
No one can stop us.
I mean, we could also just call it Dragons and Dragons.
Yes. I think they have a better case there, possibly.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, Dungeons is such an important part of that title, right? Like,
yes, but we've got every other element of it and alliteration, and it's not about whether you win, it's about whether you're going to get case dismissed the first time you end up in the courtroom, or whether you actually have to do some litigation about it. Either way, it's going to be a pain.
Yeah.
Anyway, yay,
so
courts.
About that flying skill.
Yes.
We've got Dungeons. Thank you. Be right is just on it today.
An artist in his craft.
Yes. So combat tactics is sort of an overall, like, we're flying and accomplishing a fight about it.
Yes.
And then sub-specializations to that are being particularly good at evasion, distraction, attacking in some way. Now maneuver.
Yes.
Help me separate that out from like evasion or distract or whatever.
Doing a trench run isn't the same as evading fire.
Isn't it? I mean, the important part of a trench run is evading fire.
Depends. If you're going at very high speed and you don't make that turn, you don't lose because of the fire, you lose because you go smoosh.
Yeah, okay.
The peril of failure is about interaction with the environment rather than interaction with an NPC.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. Non-hostile environment.
Yeah, like situations of skill.
The French don't put an O in maneuver, do they?
Sometimes.
Oh.
It is a legal spelling variation, I believe I've observed. It is somewhat archaic.
I like it better without the O.
I agree.
Broadly
speaking, I'm conceptualizing the combat tactics a little bit like Star Trek Adventures Helm actions, where attack bonuses and evasion bonuses are mutually exclusive. That if you're duck, dodge, and weaving,
yeah,
you are also not going to be as good at attacking.
Okay.
You have to be actually focusing on accomplishing one or the other thing. I think that was broadly, and so for all three of these combat tactics, like I think you get to pick a thing that you're doing.
And does you that can dazzle in Star Trek involve giant warships or like fighters?
It is such an interesting thing that you should ask, because I recently played in a fighter milieu in that game, and for unrelated reasons removed dogfighting as a principal mode of interaction.
Yeah.
In that case, their small craft, as written in the book, are unmitigated trash. Like, you should never use it. They're just strictly awful.
Okay.
Like, they're bad. But in theory, they would be subject to the same rules if they hadn't mangled those stats to hell. I compensated with a homebrew subsystem.
Right. Okay. So
but yeah, in theory, that it's a crude ship. In that context, because like if you're rolling or applying evasion or distract or lock on, like I guess there's one question as to whether this requires action economy. We talked about that last week, where in such a case it needs to be very strong because action economy is the strongest currency.
Right.
Or whether it is a choice of passive, in which case, one, how often may you opt to choose that? Two, when is it initiated? In or out of the action economy, as you know, how does it interface with that? But yeah, I don't think you should be able to be good at damage reduction and attacking and taunting all at the same time.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
Because I can't conceive of being able to do all of those things well at once. I think each needs a different flight pattern.
The other component of this I want to think about is the the ADR, the anti-dragon resources.
Yep.
So, you know, I could imagine plenty of people having, you know, point defense, maybe lasers, you know, various other things that would, you know, like a computer programmed targeting system would be quite devastating to a big slow moving dragon. Of course, they have some magic and whatever things to defend themselves, but like those seem like concerns.
That's a very interesting question, insofar as I think it is wise to present game masters with mechanics for corpos and others to create anti-dragon defenses. Because even if, at the beginning of a campaign, corporations might be focused around a different threat model. Like, for instance, maybe they have anti-drone point defense, because until the start of this campaign, no one with dragons was going to be aggressive against them. Nonetheless, over the course of campaign, one would expect corporations to adapt and so introduce those things. Therefore, you know, GMs should have like a stat block or an idea. Like,
yeah. Or
because I like the idea of like, you know, whether or not, I don't know how much before our heroes were in the story.
Yeah. Well, I think
there was really this kind of fracas.
We were talking about them having some kind of organization that they're joining, theoretically, if you want to have some structure. In which case, I think people have at least nominally thought about, or even thought about like, oh yeah, our rival company also has dragons, and that could be a problem.
I think it can be a point of setting flexibility for the individual campaign, which is why I'm like, there should be stat block about it, because you may want to start with that being present in the world, introduce it to the world, or not have it in the world because your campaign is different. But like, corpos may have any, like, I think it's okay to have a range of threat models.
Yeah, I do too.
In the world. I don't know that I need to prescribe the setting at this time. So all of which is to say, point defenses make sense, even if it doesn't start out like that. If I were a corpo, I would 100% figure out how to make it happen.
Yeah.
Like quick, like after 2 encounters.
Yep.
Like yachts and anti-orca defense. No.
Uh-huh. Which they don't deserve to have. The orcas have done no wrong.
No, this is absolutely the yachts are in their territorial waters.
Yeah.
I did a whole stream about being on Team Orca there.
The orcas are doing what they're doing, and
you
need to avoid them because they're big, dangerous animals, and that's
yeah. No, they can cross out Meese. I'm not messing with them.
Yeah.
Okay. So navigation, I have a question about.
Yeah. We don't need it.
Okay. I rescind my question.
We have computers.
We do. Turn left.
And our dragons, in brief, are high animal intelligence. They are bonded to their human. They have some sort of telepathic connection with their human. They are descended from dinosaurs and will represent that more based on their environment rather than the sort of European fantasy dragons or even Chinese fantasy dragons or whatever, right? Like the feathered serpent from South America. Like, it's not really going to be based around those sort of cultural representations, but as what we think some leftover dinosaur eggs could have produced.
I was promised a Flufosaur.
Yeah.
And I'm excited.
Yeah. So they're going to be a lot more like birds than lizards as well.
I mean, presumably the whole variation, there were some very saurid varietals, and then some proto chickens.
Yes. And I think, a lot of the water-based ones would be more lizardy and, some variation on those things. So
as we build them out, I think we can cast our eyes tens of millions of years backward to prior taxonomies for inspiration. I'm excited. I just want a little Babasaur who's like a sphere of feathers. I'm done. Like that's my I need a Flufosaur. It's all good. Okay. Anything else that one needs flying to do? It's flight under fire, flight not under fire. Thus far, it's not the deepest thing to build into.
What about when the only thing that matters is getting there first? What would you roll? Gotta go fast.
My perception is that in matters of fast, it is primarily payoff of training versus specific application of any one go fast. Like, I think there's a lot more chanciness involved in someone running some parkour compared to a little bit more determinism in a sprint.
Mm-hmm.
Like, probably the person of strong, what is it?
Fast twitch muscle fiber.
I was just trying to remember whether it was type 1 or type 2. Type 2 fast twitch, I think. I don't remember. Dang. and training, right? Like when you actually get to the block, it's mostly just payoff. Like I don't feel like people are rolling in that race nearly as much.
Yeah. I mean, it can be a little bit. The focus, all that kind of stuff is...
But not enough that it feels like an application of skill so much as payoff to something that's kind of in the tank, which you can argue about. I think it's very fair to make an argument for skill from that perspective.
Sure.
It just doesn't quite fit with... I don't know that it quite feels like rolling to me.
So the other thing I might call it is positioning, where like, okay, we are engaged in combat and I want to get around, like I want to get an advantage on attacking you and give you disadvantage on attacking me. Like I'm trying to get around behind your dragon. And like evasion is one thing. I'm just trying to get out of the way. Lock on, I'm just trying to get an attack, and I don't care if you can attack me too. And again, like we also, dear listener, want to make sure we are not trying to have the most realistic combat movement simulator ever. That's not the goal of the game. But we would like to have an ounce of verisimilitude.
Right. It should be a good simulation of interesting choices.
Yes.
Made in such situations, focusing very much on the choices and then letting randomization reflect the risk and probabilities associated.
Yeah. And so I'm just thinking of like, okay, well, I want to land on the top of the delivery truck before that drone gets there.
Maneuver.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm trying to think about whether points in flying might also contribute to some sort of independent speed stat.
Yeah, I think it probably would. I love a derivative stat. Like it again, Shadowrun went too hard and flew too close to the sun, but having their initiative stat be like this plus this divided by 2 and then round to the nearest multiple of pi is something like what you have to calculate. But saying like flying contributes to speed stat or whatever.
Yeah. So at that point, is speed stat purely deterministic when put up one against another? Or is it like a number of D6 is an example that feels not very idiomatic to our system, but a way of implementing the derivative stat that both advantages speed and like allows for some element of chance between two things that have speed and are trying to.
Yeah. Gamer Blue, if you ever want to try Shadowrun again, let me know and we could play Shadowrun Jacinth Edition, which is imminently playable.
I tried to play it once and my party didn't get out of character creation.
No, they did not have me there.
Yes, we did.
Was that something I was doing?
Yeah, we were in your house.
Oh, that was a long time ago. I fixed it.
It was a very long time ago.
Yeah.
It was, I think, maybe even before we settled on masks.
Yeah.
Like, remember where there was a brief period where we did a session here and there of game?
Yeah.
We created characters.
Yes.
For Shadowrun.
Yeah, and I
tried. We didn't make it.
I love Shadowrun in spite of itself, and will do anything I can to make it.
We weren't working with digital tools. Like, it's hopeless at that point. Digital tools changing the game, doing it out of the book. Please terminate my existence.
Yeah.
But if we've made it a speed stat, if it's not deterministic, if it's not just put points in skill determine fast, Then is it that structurally different than rolling maneuver? Have we not just simply come back around?
Well, here's the thing about that, right? We like only rolling when the outcome is uncertain, right? Mm-hmm. That's our motto.
Yes.
And so I like the idea of, okay, we come up with your speed stat, whatever that is. And if your speed stat is give or take 1 point from the opponent, just as an example, then it's
auto win.
Well, yeah, I was thinking if they're like one more or one less, that's when we have to roll.
Yeah, right? That seems. Yeah, if it's auto win outside a certain band.
Yeah.
Roll maneuver inside a band. That sounds great. We should note that down or we'll forget it.
Yeah.
And then we can determine with numbers what that band is. Yeah, the idea of just rolling and smoking something.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense to me. Having it be in doubt when they're a little more comparable makes sense to me. I like that a lot. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Very nice.
Hooray.
Yeah, thank you. That's lovely.
Well, yeah, Shadowrun is the setting that I love, and there are mechanics in it that are perfectly good, but most of it is completely overwrought and unnecessary.
It is a beautiful, overflowing cornucopia of cannibalizable game design and setting material.
Yes.
It should not be used in its original form. It is brilliant primordial material.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like the setting for it. But this is going to be a better game.
Yes. Yes, okay. You can't pet dragons in Shadowrun.
Yeah, and well, you should not, because they're people, and you should ask first.
Yes.
These dragons are animals, and then you'll just sort of see what happens.
Yeah. Okay. So returning to our previous query, anything more to flying?
I feel like we don't have enough specializations for it.
Right. It doesn't feel deep enough.
Yeah. That's what they said.
Yes, we heard me say it. Hi.
Hi.
Also, I need to step away for a quick moment. Can you be ungovernable?
Yes.
Good, thank you.
Absolutely. Gamer Blue, I'd love to know your cybernetic enhancement system, because I'm planning on doing a actual play set in Cyberpunk 2077, and so far I don't love all the written rules for Cyberpunk Red, and 2077 video game is not something that's easy to convert to a tabletop experience, and I'm undecided on how I want to do the tech for that.
Spam callers are wonderful. Hello.
Oh, they are not, though. That's my feeling.
I'll have to disagree. I love them. They're the highlight of my day. I would love 600 more, please.
I will say I do try to, as a public service volunteerism, I will pick up and spend as much time on the phone with them as I can, because that's someone that they're not talking to who would be susceptible to their scams. Yeah.
It is a very fraught issue, given how often the callers themselves are exploited. And given that many spam calls are cold calling, which is a different sort of thing, right? Sure. Someone might need their home remodeled. It is not I, for I am not a property owner.
Right. Yeah, I will stay on to see, like, does this seem like a scam to me? I usually have a pretty good sense of that. And then if it seems scammy, I'm not going to, I don't berate the person, because I understand they're often tantamount to slave labor and whatever. Yeah. But if I can spend 10 minutes where they're not talking to some grandma who's not going to know the difference and could be taken advantage of, I'm okay with that. I will take that hit. And yeah.
That seems meritorious. Are there more ways to be good at flying?
Yeah, I wonder if it really is just needs to be a function of like a static movement category. And
I like having combat tactics, though.
Yeah, but
I wonder if Battlemaster has any other inspiration, right? Because we're like kind of stealing Battlemaster maneuvers.
From D&D?
Yeah. I mean, all of these have counterparts.
Yeah, there's trip, disarm, prone, fake out. The one that lets you re-roll a save. I think that's just basic fighter now.
Yeah, Indomitable.
Yeah, 3D combat is certainly worth considering, Bumble. And that's kind of how we got started on this, right? But we also don't want to get too deep in the weeds with starts with an S. Simulationism. And that's the line we're trying to balance on.
And I think 2D movement is likely mostly drive. If you are invoking a dragon, you are probably doing it in 3 dimensions.
Yes.
So I think being good at this stuff tends to imply some fluency in 3 dimensions. That said, dragon pounce bouncing from roofs of cars in a chase sounds amazingly cool.
Yeah.
And I would love to watch that sequence. It is not the most 3D, but it would be friggin' awesome.
Yeah. But I don't know that somebody moving across difficult terrain in D&D, unless it's ice, like the ice that you're trying to traverse, right? We walk on ice. If it's something slippery, if it's something that's on fire or whatever, then you do a saving throw to not take damage as you cross it. But if it's just like a series of steps and you have to get over there and it uses up half your movement, then we don't roll anything on top of that, right? And if we're flying through the air and then we're going to bounce on the car, we grab the wrong car, we got to jump to the next car. But that's not.
I think that's a situation trying to navigate moving objects and moving while moving atop other objects seems comparable to me to ice or fire as a question of difficult terrain. So though I'm not typically a GM, my instinct would be under such a scenario to call for a roll.
Right. But I would just call for an athletics check in all of those cases.
Interesting. I think my instinct would be to allow a player to choose between athletics and flying and to narrate what exactly is happening in that respect. Because, like flying squirrels aren't flying, they're gliding. I think in a pounce bounce, one would, for instance, have a little bit of glide to it. So if someone wanted to narrate that, I think that's very acceptable. Like this sort of gets into the like Roads to Rome kind of department.
Right, exactly.
But the point is, that's a maneuver.
Right. That's a maneuver. But to me, this feels like under athletics, we have a flying specialty and then a couple other things under it because it's, we will abstract the 3D Venom coming swooping out of the sun and then they're gonna, not be able to see me. And
are you trying to fold flying back into athletics?
I'm making the suggestion or asking the question.
Once again, I believe it is overstuffed to have human athletics, dragon flight, and melee all under one skill, it would be so foolish not to hardcore specialize in it immediately. It is already incredibly strong.
Right. And if we did that, I would want to pull the close quarters combat out of there.
Yes, that would at minimum be correct.
But I'm not sure that flight, like, we're just talking about movement, right? We're talking about positioning. We're, and if we're doing a ranged weapon or a breath weapon, then we do a ranged attack. If we're doing claws, then we do a melee attack. And,
I think what we are finding is that if the instinct is you could fold any of these into a single category because they all kind of live together under the domain of a broader family of skills, what we have bootstrapped, my friend, is an attribute.
Yes.
That is just a body. Like, we're just calling athletics body now, effectively.
Yeah, but right? I'm not suggesting that. Unless, is that what you're wanting to do, or?
Well, I'm saying if that seems like where our heads are at, because if we were to excise close quarters combat, it would not be on the merits of the case. Close quarters combat could live in athletics just as validly as flying, but for the sake of balancing the skills, we're excising it. So not really based on how well it adheres. Like, I think it's still a great argument that athletics and close quarters combat live together. It just wouldn't be balanced. And so now, at this point, are we simply an attribute in denial? It's okay to be an attribute in denial. But it seems like that might be where your instinct is, because I think this is like the second, probably the third stream, that it has been your instinct to put flying back into athletics.
Well, my concern is I don't see enough of stuff in flying to feel like a fully formed skill.
I agree. It's a meritorious concern.
I don't need to put it in athletics. I just don't know what else to do with it.
No, I understand. I think if we were to conceptualize athletics a little more in the domain of movement, then close quarters combat would naturally depart. One could even imagine a combat stat encompassing melee and ranged combat now as their own species.
Yeah, and we could call athletics movement instead of athletic.
And that would be a different way of folding things together. Without making it really, without having an attribute in denial. There would now be a more, like, the categorization would be more sphenic.
Yeah, and I think, like, Gamer Blue's suggestion, too, is something I was thinking about before, is if we have a pilot skill, which can also be piloting ground vehicles and a helicopter and your dragon. It's about, like, moving a thing that's not you, right? Could be worth thinking about.
I think if we had a movement category, I would put driving as a separate category.
Yes.
Moving oneself with a sentient, moving oneself with a non-sentient.
Okay.
I think I would probably also have things like drone operation in such a category.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I think you could spec into, like, flying and driving are emotionally distinct experiences.
Yes.
And I think that emotion is important to this game, because it hinges on emotional connection to dragon, which simply does not exist with car.
Well, I mean, if you're living your life 1/4 mile at a time, does it matter what direction or
Thank you, everyone, for joining us for today's stream. Jason has to leave now.
I apologize. I'll see myself out.
Oh, hey, you're out.
Yeah.
Happy Pride.
Thank you. Same to you.
Okay.
The dragon is not going to be a lot different from piloting a vehicle, mainly because it's essentially going to do what you ask it to do, right? Like it's not a personhood level of intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
And as we know, our pets always do exactly what we ask them to do.
I love you, Dazzler.
Janet, what are you doing right now? Janet. It's too quiet. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm. Chat Dazzler says hello. I'm giving her scritchies. Because she's a good dog. And she just made the cutest little grumble. Oh, and there's the cutest little Janet. Oh, look at the Janet. It's a baby Janet dog. Hello, Janet dog.
She wasn't doing anything bad, but she did not abide by the compact of to arrive when summoned. So,
yep. And for this, she must be punished with Snuggle.
Yes.
Look at you! Look at your punishment, oh baby!
Oh, she looked at me. Baby. She had flipped over a full cushion from the couch to lay on it like a queen, and looked at me like, I know that I was supposed to come over there, but I didn't feel like it. So,
it's okay. I know. There was a door in your world. Very distressing.
Gamer Blue, that's a question we haven't fully answered yet. It's, Sam had brought up the predation model before, yeah, that's to be determined. Okay, you've paid the dad tax. Thank you.
I saved y'all from the Borkiest Borks just now. You don't even know.
Okay, that was good.
Yeah, puppy snuggle time. Thank you for the puppy petting segment of the stream.
Yeah, that was.
All of my habits have invaded. Not like we haven't been each doing that for years.
No, this is good. So, one option, we could have a movement skill.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and also for context, anyone, we're attempting to make the game without attributes, and just to see, like, it feels like that could work. So let's try it.
We're building out things that we're going to want to do, and then we're going to figure out how we want to group them. Grouping is arbitrary. Like, right now, I don't even know what attributes would do. Unless, basically, we were... Like, what are attributes, but, like, usually skill bundles?
Yeah.
They're basically just skill bundles.
Right.
Under the hood.
So, if we had, I'm going to just pull close quarters combat for now down here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think we have a natural completion of flying at the moment. It is not currently of the threshold to be of a distinct category.
Right. So we have, I'm changing athletics to movement, which is already described as climb, swim, jump, right?
Exactly. That was why I proposed movement specifically. All of it was about moving.
Right.
Already.
I'm going to drop strength. And then I'm going to throw flight in there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then we'll fine tune that.
Yeah. So we would simply assert that strength could be narratively described. such that we are not going to attribute situations of doubt to strength, but rather leave it as a matter of narrative judgment, such as, I can lift the garage door open, or I cannot lift the garage door open. I am but a noodle man.
Right.
Or like, no, you cannot lift the garage door open. You are but a noodle man, if I'm the GM. And you are playing a noodle man.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll try that for now, see when it breaks.
Yeah. So under movement, we have flight. We may also have driving, right?
Yep.
And do we want flying to cover piloting of like drones and shit?
So it could plausibly... It feels like a cousin to computer skill and movement. It seems like computer skill and movement have a baby.
Well, for drones specifically, yes.
Yes, for drones specifically.
That feels like a talent.
Although, how do people drive conventionally in our world?
Sure. Some people
Why?
do.
Why not have a unified system for, like, doesn't it make, if you were operating from first principles, wouldn't you design cars to be just piloted the same way as drones, but big?
Well, assuming okay, so are you talking about auto drive, or are you talking about the interface that the pilot uses?
The latter.
Okay.
Like, you would learn how to fly/drive things, the end. You would have but one system ever to learn proficiency in.
Yes. That
we do not have that because drones are very new. They do mostly operate in 3-dimensional space and primarily in a military context kind of thing. Like, and because, like, real sensory data suits us.
I'm not poking fun at you, Gabriel Blue. I know you're using the speech to text, but I do love that only Pacific people get dragons. Atlantic people can go right to hell.
Yeah, and if you're in the Mediterranean, you have to wait and see.
Yeah. No, it's there's maybe like 5,000 dragons in the world, something like that is what we're working with right now. There are currently in the real life like 2,500 billionaires.
Yeah.
And so we're basing it kind of off of that for our Magipunk dystopia run by billionaires.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm so sorry, Gabriel. I'm not teasing you. I just it was a deeply amusing concept of, since Sam and I are both Pacific people. Fuck all the rest. No, wait,
I don't think we have the strongest claim to it compared to some.
No. But yeah, that's answers the question there.
So yes, having it as a prestige skill with a computer co-rec kind of thing, or what it is that Prince has been describing with Burning Wheel kind of thing. But
I don't know what you're saying about that. Oh, I didn't notice Prince's comments this time.
Oh, it wasn't this week. It was, I think, perhaps a couple weeks ago, speaking of an approach to two skills having emergent skill when proficiency exists. Like, we've been doing like a numbers-based prereq kind of system. But I remember Prince pitching us an alternative that Burning Wheel utilizes. I'm not committed at this time. But yeah, the putting it in movement, but requiring some amount of computer skill makes sense.
Yeah. Or I think what I'm inclined to suggest is
skills, thank you.
If you have piloting and you have some computer skills, there's a talent that's available to you is kind of what I'm feeling.
Yeah. I think that's broadly congruent with when I'm saying co-rec.
Okay.
It's probably a similar idea.
Yeah, but like I would want piloting to still, like, you could just take piloting without any sort of additional requirements from the movement tree.
Right. But if you wanted to do like remote piloting stuff.
Oh, remote pilot. Yes. Yeah. That would be like.
I'm thinking of drone operations and letting computer skill be a part of that.
Okay. Well, what if I'm only 6 inches tall and I want to pilot the drone manually?
Then I would have it be a driving role instead.
Okay.
Hey, look at those GM skills I've never built.
So, GM, sometimes it's okay to say no to your players. That's all right.
So true.
Yeah.
So true.
Sometimes it's
but the time to say no was when you asked to be 6 inches tall.
Right. Right. Yes. Anyway.
Now I've done that. We're here now. You're 6 inches tall. What am I gonna do about your silly roll? It's 100%. Like we're in an Ant-Man situation now.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You're gonna be like pulling cables and stuff.
Yeah.
It's great. I've already said yes to you. I'm doomed.
Yeah, and now it makes as much sense as Ratatouille. Of like when you pull someone's hair, that it moves their body in a certain way.
Exactly. It's beautiful.
Okay. So I'm gonna remove evasion, distract, lock on. Like, is that still part of it?
Why shouldn't it be?
I don't know.
We have multi-level sub-skills in things like druid shit.
Yeah, okay. Maybe they'll end up being talents or whatever.
No, yeah. I think they are worthy.
Okay, cool. I'll just leave them.
Yeah.
So
plus, it will be helpful to combat depth down the line.
Movement has flying with some options. Mm-hmm. It has piloting. Mm-hmm. Parkour.
Mm-hmm.
Some gear related stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Are cyberpunk knights with mech suits looking like medieval armor a thing in this universe? Probably not, but I don't know why not.
To whose advantage would it be to research and manufacture it, and for use in what circumstance?
Yeah.
Mech suits tend not to be strong value propositions, especially for instantiating the use of drones. Yeah. It is typically more sensible to fortify fleshy meat individuals within architecture rather than on an individual level.
Yeah.
Like, mech suits are more fun than sensible.
Yeah. Now, the caveat to that is our technology is somewhat magical in nature.
Sure.
And so not all of the assumptions we have in our day-to-day will it's worth challenging some of those assumptions.
I don't think for tactical purposes it's so different than the equalizer of ranged combat and personal armor.
Right.
No, ultimately, fortresses do more work than armor does and are harder to counter. You don't put everybody in individual mail because constructing each one of those is very expensive and it's still more vulnerable than doing a whole lot more fortress.
Yeah.
And so I think that same logic of it makes more sense to, like, drones are cheap.
Yes.
And so I see that as the counterpart to the ranged weaponry. and mech suits as the counterpart. We do not use big suits of armor anymore for a reason.
Right. And it's also worth noting that it's not like the corporations are not fortifying themselves against random waves of dragon attacks and that sort of thing. Like that's not a sort of day-to-day concern in the setting as we've imagined it so far.
No. I mean, there would be an open question as to whether such a device would be suitable for outfitting a specialized strike force.
Right.
For instance, the loadout of specialized strike forces are probably extremely versatile, and if I were to instantiate a suit, it would probably have been R&D'd in that kind of context.
Yeah.
Experiencing extreme environments, particularly to infiltrate some base that's very, very, very deep underwater where pressure is a consideration. Things like that. Highly specialized uses.
Yeah.
But I would need to make that special. So there would have to be a thing in the setting.
The hoarding wealth billionaires and the, dragon that they've inherited through the ages that accompanies them are generally isolated from each other, and they don't send their dragon in to do their dirty work because of the threat. Like if their dragon got killed, they're deeply vulnerable. So
and I do think the dragon probably fulfills that personal defense role for particularly important to protect individuals. So one could instantiate a mech suit. Basically, what I think I'm saying is, if someone felt very strongly, I would encourage them toward the crafting mechanic of this game. And I'm not necessarily hard committed to the idea that it would already be a thing that exists in the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's where I end up. I mean, I think it is probably part of the broader class of things, including what we were talking about last week, of things we think are really cool, and we do kind of have to force a little bit of a world shift for it to make sense that it's in the world, like swords. Cyberpunk games with swords have to fully steel cable suspension disbelief.
Yes. Yeah.
To smoosh those into the world.
Yep.
One does it for the aesthetic. Oh, the tension those poor cables are
under. Night-styled strike teams to kill rival corporate dragons.
Right.
Yes. Although then that can create sort of an arms race where now they're all creating these teams to go after each other and just like
that kind of thing certainly exists. There will be strike and counter strike and all of these, whether or not it takes that particular form or some other one, that there would be effectively assassination operations in a corporate context strikes me as wholly uncontroversial. And then, the particular form they take is kind of just like, what would their mission profile look like, basically? Like, what are they trying to infiltrate? That will probably tell you their loadout.
Yep.
So, it basically invent the corporate base, and I will tell you what the strike forces have.
Now, the one other thing to consider is the Riri Williams of the world who never got a dragon bond, and so they instead build one.
That's exactly why I would encourage someone to investigate the crafting mechanic if they wanted to instantiate. I think we were also talking about, what do people without dragons do? You have beautifully illustrated this for me.
Yeah.
They would go hard in the paint and crafting.
Yeah.
And then you would have, we don't have any of those rules yet. That, if handled properly, is a fairly powerful subsystem.
Yeah.
Like Magic.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't touched it yet. Absolutely not. Nope.
Yeah. I think it may be helpful to come back around to looking at Magic and crafting.
Yes. They're intimidating, and we've been saving them for last.
Yeah.
We've been avoiding them.
because we have most of our skills have something.
Yeah, we still have to finish filling out, basically we have saved the skills associated with subsystems: magic, crafting, and combat.
Right. But, as in any good video game, we've gone around leveling up, fighting smaller monsters. You know,
we have skill built while building skills.
Yes. We've leveled up our skill at making skills. Yeah, thank you. It took my brain a second to catch up with what you said. So then maybe next week we're looking at the skill called cast spells and shit. Currently.
Okay. Yeah.
And then, like, I feel like we should probably handle that before we get to crafting, because
it will tell us the scope of how much magic might be involved in such things, since we don't know anything about magic or how it works in any kind of systems way.
Like, if we decide magically summoning garments is so ridiculously easy, then sewing in the crafting skill is pointless, right? Like
garments.
What
would make, why summon garments?
It's just an example.
Right, but is it the material? If it's the material, is it cellulose-based versus protein-based fabrics? Is it...
Sam?
Yes? Is it by mass? Of what level of complexity?
This is why we need to do cast spells and shit first.
Yeah. I've been sitting here very well behaved. I've been very well behaved this whole game design. And now if we're going to be building a magic system, I can't be held responsible for my behavior.
Right. For the audience benefit, it's important to know that Sam, I don't want to speak for you. Well, I'm going to say my impression of Sam's interaction with magic is that all magic is insufficiently described science.
I cannot clearly and distinctly conceive of an alternative, and I recognize that for the purpose of such a concept even being meaningful, I have to abandon the only possible rational definition, which is that.
Yeah.
We are therefore in the realm of the irrational, and so that's why I just sit here you tell me how the magic works, because I can't reason my way to it.
And so the context, I do have to go in a minute, but the context that I would operate under, so I love The World of Eberron by Keith Baker for Dungeons and Dragons. Also a lovely man. I've got to sit down with him before.
It's true.
Absolutely delightful.
Very courteous.
But he went okay, well, D&D magic is super reliable. It does the same thing every time, like clockwork.
It's reproducible.
What happens when your average bartender has the ability to cast mend, or prestidigitation or whatever, right? Just little shit like that, and then we make it super common, and we build a world around technology that operates off of magic. And that is, I think, as the third person observer, that's how I imagine Sam sees magic.
So to me, at that point, that a reproducible phenomenon and a scientific phenomenon are functionally indistinguishable.
Yes.
Yep. Quantum shit seems like magic. In fact, there is the concept of magic as a thing within quantum phenomena, but we can articulate the principles under which it operates, and therefore we don't understand the full depth, but it's scientific. The fact that it's so, in order for something even to reasonably be called magic, presumably it is not just not reproducible, but not reproducible with like an error bar, because you could understand, okay, maybe most of the time, but then under specialized circumstances, you get some other outcome, right. Or like it is it's a pseudo chaotic process, so you will occasionally get reproducibility is scientific,
right?
And if it's not reproducible, how can we say that it is in a system,
right? And the component of that for me, like I've always disliked that D&D Magic is so reliable and reproducible and without hardly any randomized result, right? The damage rolls are randomized, what we do. And something I really miss from Shadowrun is I don't know how many spells a day I can cast in Shadowrun. It depends on how my willpower rolls go, how my drain rolls go.
That just feels like how much brain glucose you have or something. Like I could science what
absolutely. Yep. But there is a layer of like I don't know what it's going to be at the start of the day. Right? Mm-hmm. Like that is less mechanically obvious than D&D. You get 4 first level spells and when you run out, fuck you. So I like that. So I'm just talking about like principles of a system that I really like. Like certainly Shadowrun is a systematized, more complex scientific system.
Yes.
But it is reproducible and observable. Mm-hmm. But I really, really am hoping we can find a system that it embraces some of that malleability of like you can do some magic and you'll have to pay for it, but you don't know how much it's going to be, but it's going to be within a range. And, something like that. So,
I'll say the one system that I regularly encounter that has a strong argument toward being a magic system is wild magic, because it is non-reproducible at all. It is. And admittedly, one can argue randomness itself is a phenomenon.
Right.
Like that brings you right back to quantum, maybe. But like one has maximally perhaps de-scienced the system if one is to say, I cast a spell and a spell happens in response with minimal capacity to govern the consequence.
Yeah.
That feels magical to me. It is chaotic. Yeah. We cannot articulate the rules that govern it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, with D&D Wild Magic, there are like 12 different things that can happen on the Wild Magic table.
Is that like 100? Like, don't they have a property?
No, it's out of 100, but there's a bunch of them that are 3 or 4 points of range. So it's not 12, but it's like 25 or something.
Well, yeah, building tables is annoying.
Yeah. So and they wanted to have some degree of like these are more likely and these are less likely, and that's okay. Right. That's what you do with a D100.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean you could still say like the results are within this scale. You're never going to turn into a car, but you might turn into a potted plant. That's a thing you could describe, right?
Yeah.
I don't actually love the wild magic. I wanted to love the wild magic system in D&D.
I loathe wild magic.
Yeah, I
think this describes my antipathy to magic. I like science.
I like having, like, to me, magic should be somewhat unpredictable. And that's where I like I don't know how many spells I get. I don't know how much it's going to cost me to cast it. I know within a range, it's going to cost me 1 to 3 magic points, but I have to roll to see, and it's a risk. And that, like, push your luck mechanic is my all-time favorite game theory bullshit, right? Like I love all of that.
So I guess philosophically we will contemplate what it means to be or what we want it to mean to be magic in this world. Because it is difficult to build anything with rules that is not in some sense scientific, because it's systematized in order to be a fucking game.
Yeah.
And therefore how we want to conceive of such an arbitrary category.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
And how our world would even conceive of such a thing. Yep. What is the threshold that it takes before someone, like, now that we are in a post-Enlightenment society, to call something magic now?
Sure.
And we'll contemplate that next week.
The example that I'll just finish with is the idea of Sam, are you familiar with how baseball is played? Unfacetiously, perhaps. Is there a sport that you're super familiar with?
Yes, swimming.
Okay. So, if you normally can swim 20 laps, right, without much, like, that's kind of your workout, right? You can easily swim 15 laps.
Yes.
And you could probably swim 25 laps.
Yes.
Maybe even 30.
Unquestionably. This is a light workout.
Yeah. So, for me, it's like, okay, we're doing a thing. And today you were able to swim 40 laps. And then tomorrow you were able to do it again. But then the next day you're, not even from pure exhaustion, but your mental fatigue is like, I'm going to do 20 laps and I'm done. Like, those are systems that are easily describable and you can pick them apart.
Subject to natural human variation.
Right. And that's the level of variation that I want in my Magic. Is, I was going to say, a pitcher might go to practice and throw 50 pitches in practice, right? And then not be sore the next day. And then the next week come and throw 30 pitches and throw their arm out, right? Like, just be roasted and have to go to the PT. So
yes.
That kind of stuff, that's how I want Magic to work. I'm not saying it has to be that way. I'm just sort of like pitching my, like, I want us to land in the middle of what our visions are, but that's what I like.
I don't have a vision.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought your vision was like, there should be a clear economy of, or not economy,
no, then it would be science and we shouldn't have something called magic.
Oh, I just thought you wanted a magic system that worked like science.
No, I can't conceive of a magic that isn't science unless it's wildly chaotic. And so how are we defining what is the thing we're even doing?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I think we are creating a magic system that is not wildly chaotic. It's a type of science that we don't have access to in our life. And
right.
But it is a thing that people can study and research and have access to.
People in the world can be irritated that other people call this magic because it isn't magic. It's insufficiently described science.
Yes.
But people call it magic because they have rejected Enlightenment values.
Maybe. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, again, what does it take for a social, like, what would you have to see before you, Jason, called something magic again? Like, right. We exist in this world. What would it have to be?
Yeah.
Like, it's fascinating in a sci-fi context. So, yeah.
And a little insight, like, I know you know this, but, like, for listeners, like, I grew up in a straight up faith healing home, right? And, like, didn't go to a doctor for a long time. And I can look back now and see, like, wow, I lucked my way through some situations that would have been easily resolved with, a minor intervention. And, that is, and having come through it at the time, I attributed it to miracle, right?
Right.
Or divine intervention. And I no longer think that's the case because I can see how those things fit together.
David Hume has some beautiful work about miracles that I fundamentally appreciate. I am not a Humean empiricist in all matters, but I think the case against miracles is strongest for me there. Magic feeling like a species of the same argument. I am still just as annoying as I was in undergrad. But not annoying. Classically trained.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
All right.
So anyway, thank you everybody for joining us. I'm going to look for someone to raid. Sam, what do you have going on?
My streaming schedule has been, well, the schedule is the same. The game is disrupted. I had a whole lot of fun last weekend for the Naceversary, which met its goal of $3,969.69.
Fantastic.
For the Thirst Project, which is just absolutely fucking stellar. But I played a game all weekend for that, and I think I want to keep doing it. And it's my channel, and I can do what I want, so I will. That's tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time on twitch.tv/Delevely, DELEVEELY. You heard it here first. I will be continuing to do everything.
Time.
From the beginning of stream.
Yes, of course. Wait, have my captions not been coming through all day? Come on, chat. Oh my gosh. Yep, honestly. No captions for me. All right. Sorry, everybody. We're going to go say hi to Jen the human, a fellow human, as far as I know.
Just like both of us.
Right. I'm Jason Humanman.
Yes.
Regular human man. Yes. You can follow my D&D campaign on Happy Jacks on Sundays at 5 p.m. Saturday mornings, we do the live cast of our Masks game, but there's also a VOD for that. If you go to Happy Jacks RPG or happyjacks.org, you can find all that. And then I'm on this channel, so you can follow on Blue Sky for updates and stuff, and hit alerts here. If you had alerts on previously, for me, it's a good idea to turn them off and back on again, because I was not on very regularly for a while, and a lot of people are letting me know that, like, hey, I got your alert 2 hours after your stream was done. Like, oh, cool. Thanks, alerts. But anyway, thanks everybody for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.